what's important when you come to decision making is that often you'll have several bites at the same policy or the same bylaws, for instance. And it's important to ask your questions right at the beginning, because as you get further through the process, it's harder to make changes. So it's really helpful if you can ask all of your questions up front, and then you can have a really robust brainstorming session before you start getting down to the nitty-gritty of the details. But having said that, always ask your questions, and if you aren't yet comfortable asking them in full council, for instance, talk to your colleagues offline before getting to council, because there's a lot of shared knowledge around the table, so don't be afraid to use your colleagues as another source of information.
Okay, so making decisions around the council table can be quite quite a big thing for you if you're new, and I get that. So one of the things that I found really good and a really good way to do things is that you have the public come in. You have a public forum, and public can give their opinions. They might ring you, they might email you, they might contact you, they might accost you in the street, but the public are going to give you their opinion on a certain anything that's on your agenda. You need that engagement, because you need to hear what your constituents, what your ratepayers are saying to you, what they want to see your city look like, what they want your decisions to be. So that's one thing, is being able to engage with them and listen to them. Another piece of the decision making process is hearing what the others around the table are saying. So be respectful of somebody else's time to speak, and let them speak and listen, especially to the long-term councillors, because they're really quite au fait with this. It's easy and comfortable for them. And listen to what and question. Don't be afraid to question why they've come to their opinion, or what are their networks in the community saying. Read all the papers, and I mean read, and take your pen, or however you do it, your pen or your highlighter, or if you're using online, or your laptop or your tablet, highlight in some way any questions you have, any thoughts that this is a good idea, because the staff will give you a really good should be giving you really good reports on the decisions that you might have to make. Do your own research. Auntie Google, I call Google Auntie Google for feminist reasons, clearly. So check out online what other councillors are doing in New Zealand and overseas. Say, for example, the decision is about what you might want to do to a district plan around your CBD, or intensifying. Well, have a look and see what other countries are doing, or come up with and ask questions around well, why couldn't we do this? Or if we go 3 or 4 levels, just really do your own research, and get out into if the community's not coming to you, go to the community. If you've got a little group of supporters, it's a focus group, get their opinion, and just mull it all over with everybody, and don't be afraid to share your concerns or any good ideas that you have, because the team around the table are wanting to make the best decision for the community going forward.
So some tips I have for decision making are these. First of all, decide what's the principle that you're trying to uphold. What are you ultimately trying to achieve? And if you can get an agreement around the table of what's the principle, then you'll actually find that a decision will often be a whole lot easier. Another tip is, what are the strategic goals that you have as a council? Think about what are the goals you're trying to achieve. Is the decision you're making moving towards those goals and the aspirations you have for the community, or away from them? It's really important that, again, you talk with colleagues, you talk with friends, you talk with people in the community. You really want to get as informed as you can about, and especially use the advice of your officers and the expertise of your officers in the council. You want to be as informed as you can about a decision before you make it. Trust your judgment, even if your opinion isn't the most popular around the table. I think what's really important about the decision-making process is that you say it, because you will be reflecting some people in your community. And whether the vote goes your way or not, I actually think it's really important for the decision-making process that all of these things are put on the table in a transparent way and everyone can hear it. So make your voice heard?
Making decisions when you're a new councillor can be challenging because you perhaps don't have the confidence that your opinion matters, but it does. Every opinion and every viewpoint matters and needs to be put on the table so other people can hear it. But at the end of the day, it's a majority decision, and once the decision's made by the majority, then everybody has to abide by that. But before you get to that point, it's really good to talk to your other councillors about their opinions, test things out, see if you've got any allies that agree with you so that you can put a stronger point at the table.